Before we begin, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to WaterKH of the Kingdom Hearts community. He's a well-known modder for the Kingdom Hearts community, with his most recent endeavor being the Kingdom Hearts 3 Garden of Assemblage randomizer. He's the only reason the Melody of Memory scene has gotten to where it is now, where we can create custom charts, and this is only made possible by his rechart tool, which we'll get into a little bit later. Please go follow him and support him, as he has done incredible things for this community and deserves credit for all this work. I'll leave links in the description below to his socials and his Patreon. The first thing we're going to need to do is download everything that's required. All the links are going to be in the description below. You're going to need Unity Asset Bundle Extractor, Rechart, SABReplace, or AudioMog. In this tutorial I'm using SABReplace because I don't know how to use AudioMog. And it's optional, but it's highly encouraged to get AeroVortex, and we'll get into that at the end of the video. Once you've downloaded and extracted everything, set them aside and come back to them later. For now, we're going to be looking for the game's root folder. By default, it should be in your Epic Games folder, but if not, you're going to have to search for KH_MOM. From here, you're going to need to learn where your audio and chart folders are, because you're going to be using them a lot for these kind of mods. I'm going to be putting up an image on the screen to show the default directories for both of them. First, let's navigate to the audio folder. You should see a ton of music files that end in .bytes. Keep in mind that my folders are going to be a tiny bit messier because I've been modding the game for about a year now. For the most part though, it should look the same. Create a separate backup for all of these byte songs, because you're going to be replacing some of them in the future with custom charts. Personally, I just created a backups folder in the same directory for easy access. Once you're done with that, you're going to want to do the same thing for the charts folder. Here you'll see a bunch of music files with no extensions. Back them up however you want, and from here we can get to the fun part. As a side note, if you're only wanting to install other people's custom charts, this is all you're going to need to know. Back up the original files and then replace the files in the game's directory with the custom charts that you've downloaded. Now that you know where the files are and have created backups, we can look at the files that we downloaded earlier. The first thing we need to do is set up SABReplace. This is the program that we're going to be using to replace the audio. Take the SABReplace.exe and copy it into your user profile's root directory. For example, I'll be putting mine into my C drive, users, Lyman. Now you need the song that you want to create for the custom chart. Obtain the audio file, but make sure it's in one of the supported formats. Personally, I use WAV files. If you don't have it in a supported format, Audacity is a great program that can be used to convert the files for you. After you've gotten the audio, we can begin the replacement process. To find out what audios you're replacing, you can find the list in the Google Sheet linked in the description below. Hit your Windows key or open your start menu, type CMD, and open the command prompt. From here, your command prompt should default to the directory from earlier. If not, you're going to have to navigate there yourself. Now, type SABReplace.exe space. Do not forget the space. This is really important for running it properly. Drag the audio file from the game's directory that you want to replace into the command prompt like so. It should auto-populate with its directory. Once that is done, make sure you're in the command prompt and hit space. We have to have a space between the first file and the second file, or this will not work. Now, drag your new audio file into the command prompt like so, and just hit enter. If done correctly, it should look like this, and that means you've successfully replaced your audio. Here's an example of what it'll look like if you do it wrong. So if you do it wrong, it'll give you a list of instructions on how to do it properly, and it'll also give you the supported formats. Once you've successfully replaced your audio, you should have two new files. One that's named the same as the old file, and then another one that has a .old at the end. The .old is the original file that you replaced, whereas the new one is going to be the current audio that you use to make the custom chart. By default, the game will only play new audio to the same length that the old chart plays. If you'd like to create a longer or a shorter chart, you can modify the database file, which Water goes into more detail in his video that I'll link below. Using the same Google Sheets from earlier, you can find the chart that you want to modify. It should be the same number, or sometimes in rare cases, a number off from the audio chart. Open Unity Asset Bundle Extractor, go to File, Open, and then select the chart that you want. It's now going to ask you if you'd like to decompress, so select yes, and then save this new file somewhere where you can easily access. Name it the same as the original file. You can now open this file and rechart. You can make the edits however you like, and when done, hit recompile and save it. Now you can take the newly edited chart and replace it in the main charts folder in the game's directory. So the modding scene has recently found that using ArrowVortex to create the timings makes it a lot easier in the long run. Here's how to use it. Open up ArrowVortex and you'll be greeted with a mostly empty program. Drag your audio file into the program. From here, go to Chart, New Chart, and press Create. This allows you to place notes on the song now. Before you begin charting though, you have to make sure that the program is set up properly. Go to Tempo, adjust sync, and either type in the BPM if you know it, or find BPM and hope it picks the right one. Apply BPM and close your sync window. Sometimes you have to mess with the offset as well. Before placing the notes, you can go to Audio, Beat Tick, and have it play alongside your song to test the sync. Finally, go to Audio and Note Tick so that it plays on every note that you add, and now you can begin. You can snap to beat by using the left and right arrow keys to decide what length that you want to use for the beat. Place notes with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 keys on your number row. The time is shown at the bottom and can be placed in rechart, but also keep in mind that rechart only reads in milliseconds, so if you're past a minute on ArrowVortex, you'll have to adjust manually in rechart. It's a lengthy process, but from here you're pretty much good to go. If you ever need any further assistance, you can always join the Melody of Memory Discord server, and you'll find a write-up of this guide as well as other channels that you can ask questions in. I hope you all enjoy creating your charts. Again, please check out WaterKH's socials linked below. He's a super amazing guy that is very passionate about the mods that he creates for this community. Definitely be sure to check out my custom charts as well on the channel. I hope I get to see a lot more charts coming from you guys in the future, but until then, I'll see you guys around.